This is day 2 of week 3 of our 21-day program. We're focusing this week on the discovery stage of a mindfulness dialogue way of living. Our theme today is called 4 Moves, which I'll explain in a moment. But first, in keeping with the mindfulness dialogue process, let's begin by connecting to this moment, to each other, and to ourselves. So position yourself as before, comfortably, relaxed, but alert, back straight, hands in your lap, eyes closed or softened. Take 3 deep breaths. In through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. Now breathe normally, and where you feel tension in your body, breathe into that place and breathe out the tension. Now try to let go of all the thoughts that are surely running around in your head by simply paying attention to your breath as you breathe in and out deliberately. And find a gentle rhythm. In your mind, softly say the theme of today, 4 moves. Repeat this a little bit like a mantra. Let it settle into your body. You can use it throughout the day. Listen to yourself beneath all the things that engage you in the world. These things are like the waves on the surface of your deep waters. Now continue with your mindfulness meditation by giving yourself permission to be here, present in this moment. When you find yourself distracted, as you will, simply return to your breath and the theme of today. If you wish to spend longer on this stage, simply pause the recording and return when you're ready. Now gently return to this present moment, to your body. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Feel the connection, the presence, the awareness that surrounds you. So, I mentioned 4 moves is our theme. Let me explain. Mindfulness dialogue in its discovery stage is like jazz. In a jazz performance, there is no written score. Rather, what emerges is the result of the interaction. It is like Heaney's spirit music, that is always there, but waiting for the practiced ears and hands of the musicians to allow it to come forth and fill the whole house, as Heaney says in his poem. Jazz involves 2 sets of skills. One is skill with a particular instrument. The other is the skills of actually mindfulness dialogue. These skills are even more important than the first, for without them there would be no jazz. No matter how good the individual musician is or how well the scripted music is played. These jazz skills are the skills of connecting, exploring, and discovery. So, the members of the jazz band connect with each other and the situation or environment, sharing where each of them is, articulating the environment as it were. They then explore a theme that may be an existing piece of music by listening to it with all their senses, by reflecting it back and forth through each other's instruments and perspectives, by allowing space for something else to happen, by asking questions of the theme and of each other. Then, when they have surfaced these different reflections, they hold them together, as it were, and listen for what will certainly have been generated through this interaction. Finally, someone who hears the given note, as Heaney says, makes the first move. This may be followed by another move when someone repeats this for emphasis. However, another musician may find the urge to counterpoint in a kind of opposing move. And then perhaps another will weave all these together in a sort of bystander commentary move. In this way, the new music emerges, like a new insight or new image. This is jazz. These 4 moves, as I am calling them, are in fact the discovery skills of mindfulness dialogue, which I have called mover, follower, opposer, and bystander. We can recognize these moves in every exchange, in fact. We can recognize also the importance of each one, though we will also note the danger of any one of them dominating. For example, if a conversation is all mover energy, then you simply have a debate where no one is listening to anyone else. On the other hand, if you have simply follower energy, then there is little creativity. Similarly, all opposer energy leads to a stalemate, while all bystander moves goes nowhere. Together, however, with all of these moves or energies in play, something new is generated, something new emerges. We might also note how we tend to personally favor one or two of these moves over the others. Am I simply a mover? Do I tend to bring only opinions to an exchange? Is my friend only a bystander? The spirit of discovery and building together is having all of these moves in play. When this happens in the context of a team or a conversation, then jazz is generated and the given note emerges as new possibility. Once again, our colleague Rilke has something to say in a piece that describes such an interaction, such a jazz process, and our participation in it. Here's what he says. I believe in all that has never yet been spoken. I want to free what waits within me, so that what no one has dared to wish for may for once spring clear without my contriving. If this is arrogant, God forgive me, but this is what I need to say. May what I do flow from me like a river, no forcing and no holding back, the way it is with children. Then in these swelling and ebbing currents, these deepening tides moving out, returning, I will sing you as no one ever has, streaming through widening channels into the open sea. I love the thought of participating in life like this by contributing what no one has dared to wish for. The heart of Rilke's implied method, like our mindfulness dialogue method, is allowing this to spring clear without my contriving. For this to happen, I will need not just myself, but all of the other participants in this interaction and the jazz-like skills that allow me and us to connect, explore, and discover as we described. But then to have the note that is given, the given note to flow from me, from us, like a river, no forcing and no holding back, the way it is with children. This is the way of mindfulness dialogue jazz, as it were. So here's a mindfulness dialogue practice for the 4 moves. Again, a position that is relaxed but alert, and 3 deep breaths. And simply follow your breath. Recall, if you can, a creative interaction that you've experienced, a project, a team, a music group, a conversation, when the 4 moves, when all of them were in operation. Notice, if you can, each one and what it contributed. Now listen to Rilke's poem again and notice a word or phrase that touches you. I believe in all that has never yet been spoken. I want to free what waits within me so that what no one has dared to wish for may for once spring clear without my contriving. If this is arrogant, God forgive me, but this is what I need to say. May what I do flow from me like a river, no forcing and no holding back, the way it is with children. Then in these swelling and ebbing currents, these deepening tides moving out, returning, I will sing you as no one ever has, streaming through widening channels into the open sea. So follow a word that touches you or a phrase you noticed. Follow where it takes you. Do this again and then again. Feel the tension that may or may not surface from your different thoughts. Stay with this for a few moments. If you want to spend longer with this practice at this stage, feel free to pause the recording for as long as you wish. Now deliberately pause in order to hold the different ideas, feelings, some of them perhaps conflicting, that have surfaced, and listen for a new idea that may weave them together. First, offer this idea with deliberate mover energy. Then deliberately affirm or follow the idea in your mind. Then try to oppose the idea, so to speak, counterpoint, question. Finally, reflect, bystander energy, on what you sense is happening. Notice what begins to emerge, and stay with this for a few moments. Again, you can pause the recording here if you wish. And then finally, return to where you are and gently open your eyes and savor the experience of mindfulness dialogue jazz. So here are some suggestions for playing jazz, so to speak, throughout the day. Notice when something triggers you, a remark, something you're reading or watching on TV, an incident in the street, and engage with it in a mindfulness dialogue way. Connect. Be present to it. Be aware. Explore what is happening by noticing what it triggers in you: anger, anxiety, an opinion, a reaction, and saying this internally. Then enter a discovery building mode by holding together the various thoughts that have surfaced and listen for an insight. Use the 4 moves to try to build on the insight, thinking always as a we, made up of the various aspects, the various perspectives, the various members of the jazz band, as it were. Here's a final little comment to pull this together. I believe that it's in the discovery building stage that mindfulness dialogue becomes most exciting and fascinating. The reason is that it is here in a particular way that we are developing our capacity to contribute to the unfolding of new life in a way that reflects our unique human role. As Rilke says, then in these swelling and ebbing currents, these deepening tides moving out, returning, I will sing you as no one ever has. Perhaps even more accurately, we will sing you as no one ever has. So experiment today with this wonderful creative capacity that we all have, we together in a particular way. As I've shown, you can do it alone, but it can be even more fun to try it out with a few friends. So, blessings on this day. Banacht ar an lá seo.